Isn't it? But these two very much at the peak of their careers and fitness. Tynanes, the taller man by 4 centimeters. This is Kazakhstan against the USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next fight is 3 rounds in the One Championship lightweight division, and it's brought to you by Canon, delighting you always. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, this man is a Greco-Roman wrestler, standing at 173 centimeters tall, weighing in at 70.3 kilograms, holding a professional MMA record of 18 wins, 3 losses. From Alash Pride, fighting out of Almaty, Kazakhstan, he is APFC lightweight champion, F.Khamitov! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he is a freestyle fighter, standing at 177 centimeters tall, weighing in at 69.7 kilograms, holding a perfect professional MMA record of 6 wins. From Hawaii Elite MMA, fighting out of the United States, KOTC light welterweight champion, F.Khamitov-Tynanes! And when his battle begins, your referee in charge, Joey Lepitan.
Fire. Going. Okay, you know the rules. Over the head. Okay. Grab the cage. Okay. Touch gloves. Go back to your corners.
This one could be a real cracker. Khamitov against Tynanes in the lightweight division.
Ready? Okay, fight!
This fight's brought to you by Canon, delighting you always. The touch of fingerless gloves to kick things off.
I am only inspecting more incredible action here tonight. I can't believe it's going to get much better than this. We still have 2 world title fights. We're broadcasting to a billion people. This is an incredible night of action.
70 countries tuning in, Mitch, and that excludes what's going on online, of course.
A billion people, Steve. And we are putting on a show for them tonight.
It is a big stage for these guys. They know exactly where they are. They're both in great shape. They both bring a lot of talent to the cage as well. It's not just about cardio and strength. These are skilled practitioners.
I like Tynanes' striking. He seems so relaxed and comfortable in there. Khamitov is a little bit slower. A little bit waiting for that shot. Yep. And Tynanes, beautiful sprawl.
Just had a little look, didn't he, Kamilov, at the uppercut. In the end, he realized he was too far away.
I think a lot of people are underestimating Roman's striking. He seems very relaxed, very comfortable. His dad is a kickboxer and mixed martial artist. You said they fought on the same card.
Isn't that weird? That's crazy.
That would be very peculiar.
Fight!
For the second time, Joey Lepitan asked them to fight, and that's fair enough because they haven't actually landed a punch in anger just yet. There's been a lot of feints and short-range punches coming in. But a minute and a half into this contest, we need a bit of connection with the feet and hands. Not that they're not trying, they're not being lazy, it's just a very cautious start. No one wants to give too much away. Both knows that the other is very capable.
Well, 15 minutes inside the one cage is a long time.
The danger is, of course, if you go a little bit too untidy throwing a punch, both of these men are capable enough to take you down and do some nasty things to you on the canvas. But we really do need a bit of a connection at this point. We are over 2 minutes into this, and finally, these two get together. Didn't amount to much.
Tynanes wants to keep this fight on the feet, and you can see him stuffing the takedowns.
Who will draw first blood here, though, Mitch? It's Tynanes in the center of the ring.
Like I said, the wrestling seems to be just kind of nullifying each other.
Well, this is good refereeing from Joey Lepitan. Having a word with both fighters individually. I think specifically, though, perhaps a little bit more leaning towards Khamitov in requesting a bit more engagement, let's say. It's Khamitov that's working his way around the perimeter of this cage. Tynanes holding the center of the ring, and if anything is the one that forces the issue. And there's the right hand, the first significant punch, let's say, that's landed. It was an overhand right. He tried another one, was woefully short.
Guys, back in.
Khamitov he's trying to get his bearings, but he just can't see
right hand
answer.
From Tynanes was so quick. Ooh. Jumps under that one, goes for the takedown. Great takedown defense at first there by Tynanes.
Pushing on the head, pops right back up.
Did very well.
Tynanes hasn't really started to initiate the ground game. He's only been trying to stop the takedowns of Khamitov. I think that's his game plan, is trying to just using his hands, use that. It seems to be a slight edge in the boxing advantage to Tynanes.
Guys, action.
See, Khamitov's good at the upper body clinching. Tynanes lands on the knee. Doesn't really have much behind it because he's up against the cage. There's a knee. That one landed a little bit better.
In nature, this is not the kind of fight we were expecting, is it? So much stand up. We were probably expecting them to get to grips with each other a little bit more.
Yeah, you would think so, but like you get with this high-level wrestlers, they just kind of cancel each other out, and they really can't do too much to each other. Ooh, there's a nice little head kick.
Final 20 seconds, and the action has really come all in the last minute or so.
I would like to hear how Rich Franklin has this so far.
I wouldn't think there's too many ticks in too many boxes. He's shaking his head to my right here.
And the crowd seems to agree with Rich Franklin in the head-shaking displeasure.
Getting a little bit restless, actually, to be fair, and that's justified. These two looking at, well, it's cost rather than benefit for these two. They don't want to make a mistake. I think that's the problem. Rich, how have you seen it so far?
Well, this fight, kind of frustrating a little bit. Difficult to score here. Really the only thing that's happened is that Tynanes has defended 2 takedowns. And no real takedowns of his own, but that's because Khamitov is kind of pushing the action there. Overall, though, Khamitov is not pushing the action. That's not what I'm saying. So if I had to choose a winner at this point in time, I would probably have Tynanes kind of edging this out, but really, I see this as a draw so far.
Rich, if someone's pushing the issue and going for takedowns, but they're constantly being stuffed, do you give the advantage to the person who's defending the takedown well?
Defending a takedown doesn't really count the same as actually earning a takedown, but it does create some sort of tick marks that you're actually stopping the game plan of your opponent.
Right. All right, second round. Let's see if it takes on a slightly different character. The crowd here at Cage Side would enjoy that, I'm sure. Rich Franklin trying to score this one would enjoy that and appreciate it, I'm sure. And it might give Joey Lepitan an easier time because he had to warn them 2 or 3 times during that first 5 minutes.
Nice little right hand to the body. Oh, Tynanes changes the game plan and shoots in for a takedown of his own. That had to come from the advice of his corner there to change up the game plan and mix it up a little bit. See how his legs
I was just about to say
over and kind of
whose legs are whose,
and so he can actually work closer up into the mount, and it nullifies Khamitov's ability to escape out and move the hips away. So he's just slowly inching forward. Yep, right into mount,
moving his way up the body.
Very well done. Khamitov's just kind of holding his head in position. Yep, waiting for him. Oh, he gets out. He gives the backup.
Oh, spins round very effectively, though. That's a great deal of strength from Khamitov. Well executed. Slipped with that kick. No, landed a nice right hand, though.
On the way up, yeah.
And a left hand as well. Khamitov showing some, perhaps surprising to some of us, good work with his hands. One of these fighters has to take charge of this contest, because
Khamitov is eating some inside leg kicks there. That's going to slow down the shot. He's going to slow down all explosiveness. See how he lunges forward with a lot of these punches?
Yeah,
if Tynanes keeps working the leg like that, see how he switches stances?
Yeah.
He didn't like that.
It's the right leg to Khamitov's right leg, the inside of the thigh, taking the bruising.
Uh-oh. This packed house here in Singapore is trying to get behind with a little bit of USA chance, trying to inspire these two into some action. The entire night has just been filled with explosive action, and I think the Singaporean crowd has kind of expected that.
Good takedown defense again from Tynanes, using his weight and the center of gravity to make things difficult for his opponent. Khamitov very nifty the way he moves around.
Guys, work.
Nice little transitions, but you know, Tynanes is just a slightly better wrestler, I think. You know, because he's able to stop all this. It's great balance demonstration by Tynanes.
Gives himself a nice, wide, solid base, doesn't he? So difficult to take down to the mat.
Good defense, very good defense.
Halfway through the second round, 7.5 minutes gone in this contest, the midway point.
And when you keep failing at your takedowns, that kind of eats away at your confidence. You know, it just kind of demoralizes you. If you can't take down, you can't implement your game plan, and your opponent keeps stuffing it. Ooh, that was a nice little knee that landed. So look at the balance of Tynanes. Look at that.
Yeah, it's tremendously good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's effortless as well. You have a man as strong as Khamitov trying to upend you on one leg, and he's still on his feet.
I don't know if it's effortless, but it is definitely impressive.
It seems effortless, but you're right.
And guys, work.
He's just kind of holding on, you know. He doesn't want to initiate the stand-up game, so he's just staying in tight with the clinch. But he's got to mix it up here a little bit. We've got to see a change of game plan from Khamitov. We are approaching the 10-minute mark here quite quickly. And Khamitov is, you know, according to Mr. Franklin's review of the first round, in the first 5 minutes, Tynanes was ahead, and he seems to be doing more of the same now. Look at that takedown.
Those punches, though, just before they went down, were short by Tynanes.
I think it was just to set up the takedown.
Yeah, okay.
Look at that. Takes him down at will, controls him.
Guys, action.
9 minutes gone. 1 minute before they get another rest.
Take your time, bounce that elbow. There you go, take your time. Push off with your hand to the elbow. Yeah. Okay, good. Keep them in that half first. Control the bottom knee. Keep them in that half. Squeeze your knees together. There you go. Head pressure.
Here we go. We're approaching the end of the 10-minute mark here. Tynanes is on top, transitioning to the back. Just complete control. Khamitov on the ground.
A couple of cheeky knees to the head from Tynanes. There's one to the midriff.
Guys, action.
Joey Lepitan calls for action once again. There's certainly been more of that in the second round than there was in the first.
Attempted guillotine failed.
Slipped out.
Yeah, at this stage, these guys are really slippery.
Yeah.
And it's hard to hang on to them.
So difficult to get any kind of purchase after 10 minutes of energy expired.
Yeah, it's like trying to reach into a fish tank and grab a fish.
So the 10-minute mark, 5 minutes remain. More action in that round, Rich. How did it change your scorecard?
Well, watching this fight, you really have to appreciate the level of wrestling that both of these guys have here. Tynanes actually, he's ahead, he's defending the takedowns, but it's just a high level of wrestling here. He scored a couple takedowns on his own, he's defended the takedowns, so he's obviously winning that category for me. Once he's actually earned the takedowns, you can see that Tynanes has also done a good job of controlling on the ground as well. But I'll tell you where else I actually have Tynanes' head on the scorecard is in the striking superiority category. Both of them have actually landed some good strikes and been able to mount up some offense. But Tynanes is actually pulling ahead in that category as well. So right now I have him ahead on the scorecards.
Last round, turn them up, Lo.
All right, so 10 minutes down. Tynanes ahead on Rich Franklin's scorecard. I think there's still something to come standing up from Khamitov. He has shown some impressive single punches. Probably throws fewer than Tynanes, but he lands a higher percentage, I would imagine. They touch gloves for the final time. Remember, we score fights in their entirety and not round by round. So no matter how you saw the first and second round, it's still anybody's game. In essence, the first round was very, very close. The second round probably went to Tynanes, but let's think of it in terms of 10 and later 15 minutes.
Nice that body jab. I think I'd like to see him set it up with something later, like an overhand right, and then possibly a leg kick. But he's moving well. He's still got a good big gas tank. Khamitov throwing the overhand right.
That's the one I think he lands a little bit more crisply than Tynanes. I think Tynanes misses a lot.
Nice sprawl by Khamitov. Neither of these fighters seem to be showing any sort of fatigue. Moving very well.
It's a great deal busier than the first 5 minutes, though, isn't it, Mitch? Yeah,
oh,
you're
yeah.
right. I mean, that seemed to be quite clear that neither of these fighters were going to get too gassed. They're in great shape.
Yeah, I think that first round was just mutual respect shown to both combatants out there, and they didn't want to show their hand too quickly. You can just see the welts developing on that right leg of Khamitov. Tynanes defending well, ducks under a punch.
The action is coming fast and furious at the moment as these two react to each other's moves.
Rolls through. He's attempting a knee bar, but Tynanes is rolling. He's he's in okay position, but that's kind of an odd torque on that leg.
It does look as if that could
he's
be
getting
very
there.
painful.
He's straightening it out.
Kicks it off, yeah. And just in the nick of time, I think, because that looked pretty sore.
Yeah, that was the most dangerous moment of the fight. And now Tynanes landing a little bit of ground pound and sliding up into the back.
He's turned what could have been a fight-ending move to his advantage at the moment. Tynanes drives his opponent against the cage wall. And the takedown. That could be significant. We've seen great takedown defense from Tynanes. There he is on the offense. Will that be the move that seals this for him? Still 2.5 minutes to go.
Guys, action.
He's got to try to move forward. He has to try to improve the position. You can see referee trying to push the action, get him to do something. He may stand him up, but he is landing shots. Oh, he improves the position. He passes into half guard, where he only has one leg under his control. You can see the welts on that right leg of Khamitov. Landed from Tynanes in those inside leg kicks.
There you go. Keep going. Keep stopping. Keep going. Keep going. Big knee. Big knee. Big knee to the head. Let's go. Bring up that
Just under 2 minutes left. Knees to the shoulder. He's going to look for another takedown, and he gets it. Single leg this time. So 2 takedowns in the space of, what, 1 minute, 90 seconds. That's a big movement. As far as the judges go, they'll be swayed towards Tynanes with that.
Well, work.
Tynanes is definitely showing his ground game here and his wrestling superiority against Khamitov. Khamitov just seems to be holding on, trying to reduce some of the damage from the ground and pound from Tynanes. Now he's trying to move, he's trying to roll. But Tynanes is just all over him.
1 minute and 10 seconds now. I fancy that Khamitov has some work to do if he's to make up his ground from here.
Yeah, I think the only way Khamitov can end up getting the victory is if he can finish Tynanes, but it's not looking that way.
I think he looked pretty handy standing up, but this is where he's struggling now. Tynanes is so well schooled in these kind of positions and so strong. Battering his man around the ribcage with that left hand.
Well, work to finish.
Get it, let's go. There you are. Try and come up to the mound if you can.
30 seconds remaining.
Come up.
30 seconds left in the third and final round.
Well, guys, work.
Let's see if Tynanes can get the finish here.
Work to finish.
Khamitov trying to protect himself with his hands, but he's wrapped up that right hand, Tynanes, very skillfully. So there's only one hand there to defend himself, and Tynanes is raining down the punches. He's receiving a couple as well, but not of the same ferocity as what the Hawaiian is throwing.
Very good. Khamitov to end the fight on his feet, but I just don't think he was anywhere near enough. Complete runaway by Tynanes.
Tynanes for me. Rich, how do you see it?
those categories and actually scoring. I basically had both guys scored in each category, but Tynanes was just winning each category, and he's definitely gone with the victory on this one.
Okay, so we all think that Tynanes has won this. Likely to be a unanimous decision. A fight that started off slowly, got more and more intriguing as we progressed through the second round, and the third round was a good one to watch. Really enjoyed that third round. Tynanes, we presume, on his way to victory, and victory here means that it does put him in a good spot in the lightweight division. Here's Anthony Suntai.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. And all 3 judges see it for your winner via unanimous decision. From the red corner, Tynanes!
No surprise, Shinya Aoki's lightweight belt will be defended
Here
later
to
on this
present the
evening.
prize is Melvin Ho, Senior Vice President of Domestic Operations Group, Canon, Singapore.
And whoever wins that belt, whether it's Koji Ando or Shinya, defends it successfully, he may well have to deal with Tynanes in the near future. A couple of people have put themselves in that position tonight. Tynanes and Ariel Sexton.
Lowen, join me here for a bit. First of all, congratulations. Still perfect. That must have been one of your tougher fights.
Heck yeah. Brother is tough. Wouldn't want to be his next opponent. Thank you guys for having me back at ONE FC. This really is a dream come true. If it wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't be possible. Thank you guys.
What's next for you? What do you want?
I like to be at the top. You know that, like everybody else. Whoever they put in front of me, I'm gonna work my hardest and try my best to finish that fight or definitely win, you know.
Thank you very much once again. Another round of applause for your winner.
Mitch.
Lowen, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you to my team back home, Hawaii Elite MMA, Finish Range, Gracie Techniques, Island Jiu-Jitsu, all the boys back home. If it wasn't for you guys, none of this would be possible. Family back home, so blessed. My coaches for having me here, Charles, Ron, and ONE FC. Thank you guys, and my girlfriend, today is her birthday. Happy birthday, baby. That was for you.
Again, another round of applause. Tynanes!
Well, what do you guys at home think perhaps of a final eliminator between Tynanes and Ariel Sexton? I, for one, wouldn't mind seeing that. Get in touch with us on Facebook or Twitter. Let us have your thoughts. We are coming back. There is more incredible fight action up ahead.